days ago, they received their ballots in the mail. Jane voted her ballot this morning, and it's ready to be returned to the election office. John is still deciding how he wants to vote his ballot. How did the ballots get to John and Jane? And what happens to the ballots once they have been voted? Let's follow the journey of the ballots to find out. The journey begins when the election office delivers the vote-by-mail supplies to a mailing company, which first addresses an envelope for each voter by zip code and type of ballot. The envelopes move to a machine that automatically inserts the vote-by-mail materials into a ballot delivery envelope, a ballot, a secrecy envelope, a ballot return envelope, and if it was not previously sent by mail, a voter's pamphlet. Once the envelopes are sealed, an election worker inspects and places them in a tray for delivery to the post office. When all the ballots are ready, they journey to the post office. The post office whisks the ballots to high-speed barcode scanners that sort them for delivery. The ballots are then routed to the post office branch where the postal carrier prepares them for delivery. Once the ballot is delivered, the next step is up to the voter. It looks like John has decided how he wants to vote and is ready to mark his ballot. He marks his ballot carefully with a pencil or blue or black ink, then seals the ballot in the secrecy envelope. He inserts the sealed secrecy envelope inside the ballot return envelope, seals it, then signs the outside of his ballot return envelope. Jane decides to mail her ballot to the election office. She applies a first-class stamp and mails the ballot return envelope. John decides to drop off his ballot at an official drop site near his work. Other voters choose to deliver their ballots to an official ballot box at the library. Or on Election Day, ballots are collected curbside at the elections office. When requested, voters with special needs are assisted in their place of residence by a bipartisan voter assistance team. John and Jane's ballots are collected and taken to the election office, where the ballot return envelopes are examined to make sure they are signed. If unsigned ballots are received prior to Election Day, they are returned by mail to give voters an opportunity to sign them. If an unsigned ballot is received on Election Day, attempts are made to contact the voter by phone. The voter has until 8 p.m. to sign the ballot at the election office.
If you have time before 8 o'clock, you can come in and sign.
Next, the barcodes on the ballot return envelopes are scanned. Scanning tells the computer that a ballot return envelope with its unique voter barcode number has been received and is being sequenced for signature verification. A mark is added to the top of the envelopes to indicate this process is complete. Once a tray of envelopes has been scanned, it goes to an election worker who verifies the signature on each return envelope. When this process is complete, a second mark is added to the top of the envelopes. If a signature cannot be verified, that envelope is set aside and a letter is sent requesting the voter update his or her signature.
I got this letter and I wanted to update my...
A third and final mark is added to the tray of envelopes, signifying the signature verification and scanning tallies are identical. After the signatures have been verified, the ballot return envelopes journey to the sorting station, where election workers sort them by precinct. The ballot return envelopes are held by precinct until a few days before Election Day, when the Ballot Inspection Board may open them. Precinct by precinct, automatic envelope openers open the ballot return envelopes without damaging their contents. Working with one precinct at a time, the board places the ballot return envelopes face down before removing the secrecy envelopes from them. Before opening the secrecy envelopes, the stack of ballot return envelopes is checked to make sure nothing remains inside of them. This is done by peering through the holes in the envelopes. The stack of empty ballot return envelopes is then placed in the precinct supply box. The board then removes the ballot from the secrecy envelope and checks the ballot for irregularities. If a ballot is damaged so the optical ballot scanner cannot read it, the ballot is placed inside a special envelope and sent to the bipartisan duplication board. A control number is written on the original ballot, and the same number is written on the duplicate ballot. Thus, anyone may verify the duplicate ballot was marked exactly as the original ballot. Also, if the voter marks an oval, crosses it out, and marks a different oval, the ballot is sent to the duplication board. The duplication board determines the voter's intent and then duplicates the ballot. The optical ballot scanner must be able to read the voter's mark on the ballot. If a ballot is marked with something other than blue or black ink or pencil, the board requests a supervisor to use a special graphite stamp to enhance the original mark. The enhanced mark is placed over the original mark, allowing the intent of the voter to remain visible. When the board completes inspection of the precinct's ballots, the ballots are placed in a transport carrier and journeyed to the ballot counting center, where optical ballot scanners tally them. When the voting deadline arrives on election night, the first report of election results becomes available. The ballot's journey ends when the election tallies are completed. Over the years, Oregonians have cast millions of vote-by-mail ballots, and the popularity of vote-by-mail increases with each election. For more information about vote-by-mail, please contact Multnomah County Elections at 503-988-3720 or visit our webpage at www.mcelections.org.